the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
I got a couple of points and then I want to get off of this, man. I think these are points that's truth telling. And I think this will help a few artists and individuals who will get in the game and have a different perspective and not try to localize their situation. So when I was younger, I felt as if my neighborhood, the side of town, my town, was the whole planet. I thought that was the whole planet. Then I started traveling, started punching that passport, started seeing the world, and I got a different take on the whole world, and I started having an appreciation for all cultures. I prioritize my culture and my people first, but I have an appreciation for all cultures. My appreciation is that I'm not going to try to take anything from them, that I'm not going to try to own what they created, that I'm not going to speak malice on them as individuals. And when I think about hip hop, New York City, and I listen to the rappers speak during interviews and conversations and stuff, and they be like, New York City is a melting pot. We everybody say nigga up there. Everybody contributed to the creation of hip hop. I understand that the Bronx put the elements together and made it a monetizable asset. I understand that. But hip hop was created, the elements was being done in the streets in the South, in the streets all over the nation, in the United States, by FBAs and by black people. It's just what it is. The FBAs created hip hop culture in its totality. Y'all just made it a monetizable asset in the Bronx. No disrespect. But when I listen to these people speak, they localize what they're doing, but they want to be nationwide and global superstars. So if you want to be able to go to places and perform, you got to respect what they're standing on. If you want to come to Atlanta and talk, you got to have an understanding and a respect for what they're standing on, or something like this can happen. In his Instagram story, he put "Meanwhile in Australia today." No disrespect to Joe, man, but I want to ask the people: did he really go from Chicago to Australia in that short amount of time and perform at Night Third and perform, in Australia the next day? Or is this cap? Is the people who put this content out capping? Is he capping? It's just an interesting thing to see him getting booed. That was a smash hit record too. I think that was a DJ Khaled record. Another round with Chris Brown and everything, and people don't even care what the record sound like. Us as black folks, we are moved by music, and them booing him, I understand it because he disrespected the culture, but he wants to be amongst the FBA people and perform. And I looked at that comment section and people was talking about, why you gonna go pay and fatten his pockets to boo him and all of that old type of stuff. They was just making a point. They was creating content. Them creating content, making a point, making a stand, making their voices be heard. I understand it. Because if we go back to that interview and listen to that clip of the disrespect that he was spewing about the FBA. We're going to hear it one more time, man. This is the last time I'm going to talk about Fat Joe, too. I ain't one of them people that I just can't keep. It's other things going on in the world that's more important than this nigga. But he is viral right now for the foolishness that he got going on. But we're going to go back in time and listen to what he initially said.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say their name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean...
The FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro. Far as I know, we're at Yankee Stadium right now, and it's hip hop's 50th birthday. And the guy who invented it, Grandmaster Flash, my brother carried his crates. My babysitters made up let me hear you say ho. It's two girls, twins, used to babysit me. They made up, let me hear you say ho. So they have a big problem, these guys, right? So they're against anybody who ain't with them. So this ain't a popular message. This ain't what everybody's saying. We might be giving them too much light right here is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
So there's a small minority to get on them Twitters and they running it up. We got a fucking Looney Tune like your man Lord Jamal, who's a fucking Looney Tune. Okay, he's a loony bin, right? We just said that the drug of choice is attention. It's this and this and that. They get a guy who, he was a legend. He's brand Nubian.
Right.
And he's the wackest nigga in the crew, to be clear. But now, this nigga might be like trying to get lit, trying to say anything. The world's flat, the this, that, anything to go viral. I just told you I stopped my shit because I go too viral. I'm scared, I'm too viral.
Right. I think we in the information era, and some people just they see so many paths, they decide to pick one, and some of them ain't the most popular one. So, they just.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that this opinion comes from a tribe.
Right.
It comes from a group of people that hate everybody but them.
Hate everybody but them. That's interesting, man. Like, I don't care enough about Fat Joe to consider him opposition, to dislike him as a person, to have malintentions towards Fat Joe. But I understand that the disrespect has to be acknowledged. We have to, fight for the truth, to let the truth be told. The truth has to be told. And we got to call out the cap. I'm tired of talking about this nigga at the end of the day, to be honest with y'all. But all of this came from that statement that I just played on Math Alpha's podcast. And what's interesting? The title of his album, if you believe in affirmations, The World Changed on Me. It seemed like his support system, the people that used to be just open arms for Fat Joe, is turning on him because of the rhetoric that he's spewing. Now, he called the FBA's radical. He called the FBA's broke niggas. He said that, did you see they leader? When it's not a leader, it's a lineage. Then he lied about the creation of hip hop. My sister used to carry the crates and all of this and that. 50% Puerto Rican, 50% black. Then he called Lord Jamal Looney Tune. And then called out the content creators saying that the only reason they're going to spew what they spewing is because they want to get attention. That's disrespectful. And I understand why people are constantly creating content. People are going to his shows, booing him. People ain't appreciating the message that he's spewing. But you know, people are defending him also. The Melly Mel's, the Mav Hoffers, and a couple of other individuals talking about we love you, Joe.
I think Fat Joe was just. I think he called him broke. There's a few things he said. And by the way, did that video disappear? Was that video taken down?
No, it's back up.
It's back up.
Yeah.
Because people were commenting about like, yo, the video was taken down. It's not there.
Yeah, I fucked with him a little bit, took it down, put it back up.
Okay.
But unfortunate situation. Very unfortunate situation. And, you know, my heart goes out to Fat Joe. My heart goes out to anyone who takes offense. But, you know, you got to understand on the podcast, you have to allow people to speak. You can't really be cut unless I have a personal relationship with the person that they're speaking on. Like, there's no reason for me to step in and be like, hey, and hey, and hey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. Now, I can use my my discernment to see whether what they're saying is damaging to people, and I didn't feel like it was damaging. I feel like he was expressing his frustrations with not just the FBA, but a group of people that associate themselves with them, who choose to handle things in a very ignorant and ostracizing manner. And unfortunately, it was not conveyed like that, you know? So, you know, Fat Joe's from the Bronx. It's like, you know, he classified it how he wanted to classify it. Dame Dash got me on the phone with Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah, I know Tariq. Interviewed him a few times.
Yeah, it's to my understanding, he doesn't have an issue with me, because to be honest, I had no idea what the FBA was at that time. But if Fat Joe had to deal with the same people that I've noticed are leaving comments under all my stuff, and you know, the things that they're saying, I mean, they're telling me, go back to my island, go back to your island.
The FBAs would call you a tether.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, bro. And the sad thing about it is, with this hip hop culture, there's so many people, so many people who I feel like have been affected in a positive way when it comes to race relations, when it comes to kind of like eradicating racism. Hip hop is probably the number one thing that has done that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying it's the FDA, I'm not saying it's Tariq Nasheed, but for certain people to now want to ostracize all the allies that we have compiled through this art form. What?
Allies in what is my question to that? Allies in creation? Allies in being a guest on a show? Allies in doing a song with each other? Allies in what? Have those people that you consider to be allies did anything with you in your community? Have they done anything in other communities with people that look like you and support you? Have you even done anything, Matt? What caught my attention and what's really catching my attention is that a lot of people are just now learning about the FBA and the ADOS. People ain't really tapped in with the culture for real. The FBA conversation has been around for at least 2 to 3 years that I've been aware of it. But since Fat Joe spewed what he spewed, Math Hoffa said that he just learned about the FBAs. You know, a lot of people will say, Trev, what you stand for and what you support, it's not in support of the FBAs getting reparations and all of this whole type of stuff. I'm just an objective person and try to look at it from multiple points of views. And I am FBA. I'm not led by nobody, but I am FBA. I don't have no choice. You know, the ADOS thing, I've been hearing about that for the last 4 years. It seems like people are just now up on this terminology. People be late to the party and have an opinion about the party. You know, he also said that people that is affiliated with the FBA speak ignorantly and with an ostracizing manner. Name the people. If that's the case. And then the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gone, man. If you want to be in a culture, if you want to be a celebrity that has a multitude of fans, just because you from a place don't mean that we have to respect what's going on in that place. You know, you are a national superstar. If you want to come to this city and perform, you're going to have to respect them people, or don't come. Only perform in the Bronx. Math Hoffa said he's from the Bronx. We know that the Bronx is a multicultural place. Salute to the Bronx. Salute to making hip hop a monetizable asset. Salute to that. But if you want to be a superstar and you want to be able to perform in multiple places, you got to respect those cultures. You can't disrespect those cultures. You can't disrespect those people. You can't go to Mexico and call them people certain things and call them out their name. Call them broke niggas. You can't call niggas broke niggas and fuck Memphis and then go perform in Memphis. You can't do that. And the disrespect, I feel as if what is going on with Fat Joe is, hey, it is what it is. You got to deal with it, dog. Thank y'all for tuning in to my show, man. Let's further the discussion in the comment section. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace, love, plenty, abundance. Make sure you go get you some money. And I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.